Sage 200 manufacturing comparison to Sicon works order processing, unconfirmed costs and closing or completing works orders. So within Sage 200 manufacturing, works order list, here I've got a works order in a completed status. So the final stage then is to close that works order. So finalize the works order, post all of my nominal postings. So I can go and select close. This can be a nightmare at month end because we've got to close each works order individually. So you'd have to close this works order, then close the next works order. So it's quite a long-winded process. Let's select OK. We will always get this message regardless if there is sub-assemblies. Yes, we want to close. So here we get a message to say that there are component issue entries with unconfirmed costs on the works order. So that's all the visibility I get. So if I close off here, if I go into my works order, and we go to the Allocations Issues tab, so we can see a list of all of the components that we'd then need to check to see if there's unconfirmed costs against each of these lines, which again can be a long-winded process. So let's close out of here and compare this to Sicon works order processing. So works order list, so I've got exactly the same here, so I've got works order 27, same part, same quantity. So it's in a book status, so that's the equivalent of the complete status in Sage 200. And then we need to make this a completed works order, which is the equivalent of a closed works order in Sage 200. So let's go into works orders and complete works order. I'm just going to click on search, which is going to show me all works orders in a book status within this date range. We could extend the date range, or we can set this date range different as a default. So I could say that I want 5 months either way of today's date rather than 1 month. We select the lines, or we could have selected all if we had multiple. Click on complete. So we get the same message that we do in Sage 200 manufacturing, just to say that there's unconfirmed lines. Select OK, but then it's actually going to show us the unconfirmed lines. So here's my works order, my item code, that's my component code, and I've got an unconfirmed quantity of 5 in stock. If I then go to buying prices, which is just a link to the Sage 200 stock control buying prices function, we can see we've got not known, so we've got a quantity of 100 in at an unknown cost. If we go and view the receipts, so I can see there I've got purchase order 407 where I need to record an invoice for this item before I can then close my works order. Let's close off here, close off here and close off here. So we can extend the date range. Click on search to reapply this filter. So in here we could really just click on select all and mark these as complete. On the right hand side here we can actually see we've got unconfirmed costs against all of these works orders. If they didn't have unconfirmed cost, there wouldn't be a tick in that box. So let's just go and complete. So as we can see by the tick box, we have got unconfirmed costs against all of works orders, but then again it's going to then tell us all of the components and the unconfirmed quantities. Let's close off here. Close off here, and there is another way to view that. So without going into complete works orders, we could go into the inquiries folder, click on unconfirmed lines, and it's told us there. So these are all of the works orders where we've got unconfirmed component costs. And where I mention unconfirmed costs, just for clarity on that, so if I go into my purchase order processing settings, pop utilities, system setup, and pop settings, under the order processing tab, so it's even given us this warning to recommend that unconfirmed costs are turned off, and more details can be found here. But let's go and close. So where we mention unconfirmed costs, that just means when we're recording a purchase invoice, also when we're closing works orders, so it's booking in of stock, we're using the point of cost recording, so closing of a works order, completing of a works order, or if it's said purchased in part, the recording of an invoice then confirms the cost. If we were using confirm a goods receipt, once we book in a works order, it will go to a completed status on its own, so it will automatically be completed. We don't need to go through the complete stage. That's why we recommend confirm costs at goods received.